Are we live? I can't tell. This time it looks a little better on this end, so let's see if it's right. I'm gonna have to pretend for a minute or two before we know if anything is working. So it looks like we got it this time. Hi everybody. We'll see. Here we are in the annex with Scotty and her 6 kittens. I see people talking in the chat now too, so I think we're getting somewhere. Oops. Now what? What's happening? This is doing something new. Not good. All right, well, I guess I'll know in 30 seconds if people start saying the stream's not working, even though it really looks like it should be. All right, well, for now, let's pretend like it's working and just keep rolling. All right, we are here with, like I said, Scotty and her puppies. It's been a while. These kids are at like peak cuteness right now. Also, we need to do a little weighing of the kittens maybe together. So let's give that a try too. Let's get the scale going. Hello. And then we can see all the kittens and weigh them, and that'll get us started, and maybe they'll wake up a little bit. They were awake, and now, of course, they're settling down by the time I get things running. Really doing the best I can. What can I tell you about news-wise? You can see they've all got their eyes open. They're all starting to get around. They're all sort of coming online, as I like to say, where they're starting to see and hear and respond and interact and doing all the things, learning about what the world is. And it's adorable. It's just too much to keep up with. And I would like to sit in here with them 24 hours a day. And I wish I could if I didn't have so much to get done. Still, let's weigh them all and then see where we can go from there. By the way, this is their mom, Scotty, over there playing with her toys. And she's been talking to me all morning because she wants me to throw her toys so she can play with them. Unfortunately, she never brings them quite all the way back to me. She likes to set them over there where I can't quite reach them. So anyway, all right, let's weigh some kids. And obviously this is Beagle, or B, and she wants to be first. So let's weigh her. Let's put her right up here on the scale. 14.7. And let's start here. I can see, let me address some of the issues that people have been sort of bringing up by email or on Discord or on the other chats and Twitch and Twitter and the various, like the fan club on Facebook and stuff. So first off, yes, her one eye is a little bit weepy. We've got a handful of weepy eyes among the kittens. And that's pretty normal for us at this age. It's not an entirely unusual thing, and none of them seem too poorly, so I'm not worried about it. And you don't need to be worried about it either. They're doing fine. That happens a lot. I had a lot of weepy eyes when I was a little tiny kitten too. So it can be a normal thing as long as it's not impacting them in any way. I'm not going to be concerned about just weepy eyes. And a sneeze here or there is not bad either. Now, if it turns into like you're starting to see some, serious sneeze discharge or, coughing, or it's all the time with the sneezing, that might be a different story. But they're still too young for us to do most kind of treatments with anyway. So it's kind of a moot point as far as, bring them to the vet, and the vet's going to look at them and be like, yep, those are some weepy eyes. So then what? There's nothing to do. So we'll have to hang on just a little bit before we get there. So that's one thing. The other thing I see a lot of people concerned about is sliding around on the wood floor, which I know you're not seeing right now because I just put this blanket down. But I got to say, first off, I don't think sliding around on the wood floor is a problem. It's extra work. They're starting to learn to get their feet under them right now, and there's no better practice than the slippery floor for getting your feet under you. Like, that's the hardcore version. They're playing the Dark Souls of walking simulators. It's literally not even the simulator. It's what the walking simulators are getting you ready for. Actual walking, right? Anyway. So the hard floor is the hard version of it's the hard, that's why they call it the hard floor, but it's cool, it's good for them. The other reason I like to leave the floor exposed, 2 reasons. One is that it's almost impossible to not leave it exposed. Whatever we do with the blankets here, they end up pushing them around, and that's fine. And then the final reason, of course, that I like to have the wood floor exposed here a little bit, the part that I'm sitting on right now especially, is because, I don't know, we're missing, like, there's a bit of insulation or a gap in the wall or something that makes this part of the floor extra cold and I'm sure Scotty appreciates that. And when I say extra cold, I mean, it's not going to freeze anything, but it's just a few degrees colder than the rest of the room, and I'm sure Scotty really appreciates that. Okay, let's weigh some more kittens, because B can't be the only one. Let's weigh Jack, so we remember that we did the twins first. This is Jack. Oh, boy, I'll tell you. So I was going through the photos. Oops, the scale turned off. I was going through all the photos that I've taken of these kids over time, and trying to get them published. And I actually started the blog post, so it exists. It's just not published or finished yet. And I noticed, okay, 14.5 for Jack. I noticed that I thought for a minute I took pictures of Jack and B, and then I was looking at them, and I'm like, I think I took the same cat twice, and I was examining every little detail of these photos, lots of photos, like a good 20 of each. And I looked, and I could not tell the difference. I'm like, those are all Jack. I was looking for B's little black chin. I was looking for, and on all the pictures, the chin looked perfectly white. So I thought I had only taken pictures of Jack in the end. But I looked and looked. I'm like, how could I have made such a mistake? And I think it's just the angle of the chin that got me. And the thing I eventually noticed is that Jack, if you look at his front left paw, you see how that is angled, and you see it's got his foretoes, but not his dew claw. His dew claw is black on his front left, right? His front left dew claw, that's the one that's in back, like the thumb, is black, where her front left dew claw is clearly white. And with that, see that line goes straight across, with the white includes the dew claw. And this one, the white does not go straight across and does not include, whoops, the dew claw. Okay, so that's the difference I eventually had to find to realize that I did get pictures of both of them. Otherwise, from the face, you can't tell that they're different in the pictures, the original pictures. I need to get new photos of them now that they've got their eyes open. Those were the pictures I took of them like the day after they were born. So we'll get new ones. But anyway, that was my point, was that those two can be very hard to tell apart just by looking. And there's yet another way now you can tell them apart. Okay, Scotty, do you want me to throw another toy for you? Here, well, that's catnip. Will you bring back a catnip pillow? The Dr. Pussums? Here, go get it. Okay, well, let's just go then with the next of the black kittens, the last of the black kittens. There's 3 black and 3 brown here. The last of the black ones is Pomeranian, and Pomeranian, I think, has the worst of the eye goobers. I just cleaned their eyes with wipes before we started this close-up, and they've already got a little bit of goobering going on, but we're trying our best to keep it a little clean, you know. Okay, 11.8 for Pom, who's always been on the small side. Well, the middle side, I should say, because the brown ones that have always been the smallest, 2 of them anyway. So that's little Pomeranian, all black kitten, who I think had a little white spot on her neck at some point, didn't she? Let's just take a look and see if we can find that or not. Yeah, it's still there. It's still there, but I can see, like, I don't think you guys even saw it. That was just a reflection. There's still a tiny bit of white there at the neck, though, if you really go looking for it. So that's Pomeranian. Now, let's do the big brown kitten first. The big brown kitten is St. Bernard. He's buried at the bottom of this pile. Here's a good example of the difference between the brown and the black, by the way, because some people wonder whether the brown is really brown or whether it's like a camera trick. But no, these look like your regular black kittens, like any black kitten that you've ever seen, and that's brown. It's very brown. So not a trick of the camera. There's actually little brown kittens. All right, let's see. So that's St. Bernard, and he weighs 13.4 ounces, Bernard. Now, DJ says that she has been noticing that these kittens are starting to develop a little bit of a gray undercoat, which I'm sure you see something that looks like that on the camera right now. And I guess maybe she's right. She noticed it before I did. I'm not convinced, though. My eyes aren't quite as good, but I think there is a little bit of a two-tone thing going on there that maybe you can see, right? I'm not sure, though. Again, as they develop, we'll start to learn more about them, but they are supremely brown kittens. It's just like chocolate, like a chocolate lab, like just beautiful brown kittens, which I'm told is super, super rare. So how about that? So that's St. Bernard. And St. Bernard is one of the biggest kittens, and I should mention that all of them have tried the food. And that's another thing I'm going to say. I'm going to say this right now as an excuse. There's been food that's kind of fallen around. There's been some inside their box, and there's some out here. And I'm trying to leave some of that around, actually, not intentionally, not just making excuses for not cleaning up, because they like to lick the floor. And I think that finding food here and there might be a good way to get them also encouraged to start eating. But they have all eaten at least a little bit of real food now. And the big ones have all their teeth fully in. Their baby teeth are fully in at this point, too. So they should be ready to start eating. On the other hand, by the way, this is Pug here. This is little Pug, another perfectly brown kitten. He's a small one, though, one of the smallest. All brown, 9.2. So they're starting to catch up. Wow. Okay, 9.2. That's Pug. What was I saying? I was saying they've all eaten at least a little bit of real food. The bigger ones have all their teeth in. The little ones, like this guy, he's got some of his teeth kind of coming in, but they're not 100% there yet. I wonder if he would give us a big yell and let us see his teeth. Probably not with our luck, especially not if I'm scruffing him to get him to lay back. Oh no, well, no focus that time. Otherwise we had the perfect angle. Well, all right, I just wanted you to see, but it's not a big deal. My point was that he has definitely got his teeth coming in, but I don't think they're all there yet, whereas somebody like Jack has his teeth and they're fully ready to go and chompy. Anyway, they've all tried some of the food, and this morning, our last kitten here, Basset is the tuxie brown kitten, so the only one of the browns that has any white on him that we can see. Basset went to the food bowl and just started eating all by himself. I didn't encourage him or anything, show him where the food was, and he's just in there chowing. I can even feel it in his belly now. He must have eaten a good amount, and that's why he now weighs in at 9.7. Not bad. I'm going to get a second opinion on that because I'm not sure if I sort of set him down on the scale wrong, and maybe, let's just check though, double check. There we go. All right, we're going to stick with 9.7 for Basset. So Basset, like I said, he's the only one that I've seen go to the food and start eating without any encouragement, which is very cool. But he is not the one that's eaten the most. Of course, that goes to the biggest, like either Jack or Bernard, who were both eating quite a bit last night. So they're getting there, though. Hi, Scotty. Hi, Scotty. Look at you. You too. You got a very funny face. You look like an owl, like a cartoon owl or something. You got your tail sticking up. Oh, very happy cat. She does want to play a lot more, though, I think. She's probably wants to have a lot of play and fun and running around, and I feel like now that her kids are starting to be a little independent, she's missing that a lot. So yesterday, I let her out. I put everybody else in the house away, of course, because you know she can be very protective, and you never know if she's going to start a fight with somebody. In fact, I think it's a safe bet that she is going to start a fight with everybody to make sure they don't get to her kittens. I do think she's going to turn out to be very friendly to other cats when her kittens aren't around, but I don't know if we're going to be able to prove that while we're at the academy. So, oh no, subscribed. We're getting some, I usually turn off announcements like who subscribed and stuff. Sorry. Now everybody's going to be. All right. Sorry about that. What was I saying? I was saying, Scotty, I let her out yesterday to run around, and instead of exploring the whole house like I thought she would, she mostly just went next door into the second annex repeatedly. She did not go downstairs at all. Oh, you know what? That's not entirely true, though, because then after that, I went downstairs to fill up her food dish, and then she followed me downstairs. But she didn't still go very far. That's not true either. No, hang on. That's not true either, because then she did, when I was filling up her food, she went all the way. She looked in every room downstairs, and then she even started a little fight. Well, not fight, but conflict through the door with River, where they were both yelling at each other. And then I had to pull, I didn't have to, but I did, when that little conflict and they yelled at each other started, I pulled Splotch out of the room because I didn't want River to maybe sort of take some of that misplaced aggression out on Splotch. So there was nobody, got hurt. There was all just anger through a door, but that did happen. So that's what happened. So she did have a bit of a look around in the end yesterday. Initially, she was just going to go next door, and then we had the second. I went to go get her food, and then she followed me downstairs and did the whole thing, and it was fun. So there you go. I put this fun bed here because they're sleeping in this. I thought the bed might be a cute thing to have them all sleep in, and now they're all piled in front of it. Like, yeah, no thanks, bud. We like the floor, don't we? Yeah, I know you do. We should give them the bigger bed. The giraffe's always been a little more popular. Actually, I can't say more popular. It was the first time we've ever had this particular bed out, but the giraffe. See, our frame rate's looking like it's getting a little crazy on this end. I hope it's not getting too weird on that end. There's just this tech. Man, oh, that's bad. Oh, I be, huh? All right, hang on. Let me see if I can restart this thing. Give me 1 second. This is bad on this end. If it's that bad, hang on. It's still acting super buggy on this end. The frame rate looked a little. I don't think it is better. Here's what we're going to do, everybody. We're going to try this out. What we're going to try out is we're going to just go back to the plain old YouTube streaming and see if that gives us any improvement. Unfortunately, we can't stream on the other app. So, but we're going to do the stream. So this one should end, and meet me over there if it works. That's the deal. Let's go.